are we on the 10th day of Theszmas already? Man, we just got started and we're almost through it. I hope you're enjoying this as much as I'm enjoying showing it to you. And I love comments. I'm loving everybody getting an opportunity to actually go back in the past. I've had a couple guys actually say, yo, did you see this? Did you read this book and all that stuff? Dudes, this is awesome. Anytime you get a chance to check out the history of pro wrestling, it's money. It's money. Because it's so great and it's so rich and there's so much to it. And the amount of cowboy stories back in the past will blow your mind. And so I hope it leads you down the rabbit hole, as they always say, of pro wrestling, and you become a little bit more educated with it. So today is a nice one because we're going to do an escape from a headlock. So anytime we're talking about Thez era of professional wrestling, your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, all this time, all this period, 60s, 70s, the man was at this forever. He did it a long time. Anytime we're talking about escaping holds, usually it took effort. Now, a lot of times, like say Buddy Rogers or say Vern Gagne had a headlock on it, he would hold that headlock for a well amount of time. And a lot of people nowadays, because we're so conditioned to watch wrestling and just see the fireworks of just non-stop jumping off the top ropes and all this nonsense, you don't understand that's not wrestling now. That's a stunt show. That's a choreographed stunt show. That has nothing to do with professional wrestling. They should just leave wrestling out of the title. And if you want to be a promotion that has a sideshow or a circus, just call yourself the name of what you want to do and leave wrestling out of it, because you're not giving any wrestling back. So we're here to give you a little bit of wrestling to fill the cracks. We're filling the void. We're filling the void which was missing from wrestling today. Wrestling. Okay, so anytime that there be a headlock situation, I'm not going to just make his headlock look terrible, because if I can pull my head out of his headlock with ease, then he's not a strong opponent. And so if we're going to wrestle for another 15 minutes, do you not see how contrived that is? I can get out of his holds with no effort at all. I can just pop out, but it takes 15 minutes to come to a finish. And what if, lo and behold, Jesse wins that contest? Not a chance. But if there was a chance that Jesse was winning this contest, how bad do I look? That he is so weak that I can get out of his holds with zero effort. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Do you kind of get the psychology behind this? And that's why we're trying to bring a little bit of realism back. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to lock up. Jesse's going to put me in a headlock, a proper headlock. Once he's in the proper headlock, say we go through a scenario where he holds that headlock for a minute, I'm going to show you a nice little escape that you can use. And it's a bit of a variation of the stuff I've seen before. Okay? So I'll explain after we're done. So we're going to lock up, me and Jess going to lock up, and so lock up, bang, away. Oh, it's going to bring me into that nice solid headlock. Every time he shoots that headlock on, of course your head is going to come into his armpit, and those hands are going to be around the waist. Legs are going to be even, and then they're going to be shoulder width apart. That way you can keep your balance. So if he is one of these guys that likes to lean out with it, he can lean out and you got him, because you're his post. Okay? So in this position right here, he's got you in a solid headlock. What you're going to do is you're going to step on that back leg. So once I have him in this position, I'm going to step by grabbing his waist and his neck to keep him nice and straight and step it. Once we're stepping on him and he goes down to a knee, this is where it gets fun. So I'm going to grab his waist with both hands, and then I'm going to come around. So I'm going to shoot my left leg back towards my right leg. And when I do, I'm just going to roll him over the top of me. So as I go down, wham! And then he's going to take that. I'm going to escape that way. The reason I step on the leg, I keep him level, I step on the leg to keep him there so he keeps his balance, so that I can eventually take him over so he doesn't fall over. But the reason I step on the leg, instead of doing like a Shawn Michaels, where Shawn would do it from a standing position, first of all, if he's down on the mat, he's got less power. If he's not on his feet, and if he doesn't have dominant ground, you got more control. If you got leverage over him, you're going to get him. It's going to be a little bit easier. That's wrestling. Leverage is important. So taking him over in a position where he's on his knees is way easier than if he was standing. Another reason, and this is a safety thing, I don't want Jesse's knees to get blown out. And I've seen it many times, not blown out knees, but I've seen twisted ankles and strain on the knees, where you take them over from a standing position and their legs are in an awkward position where they're standing. So I always find that if you straighten them up, step on the back of the leg, now he's already in the kneeling position where his legs are compressed and there's no way that his knees can be hurt. As you rip them over the top of you, now you have complete control and he has actual control that he's not going to get hurt. It's just one of those things. It's both a work and legitimate, and that's what makes wrestling great. It is the fine, gray line area between I want to keep him safe, but I also want to make it look like I want to kill him. That's pro wrestling, man. That's the bread and butter of this thing. Check it out. Try this one instead of just doing from the standing. Remember, there are steps to it. Keep the steps in mind. Make sure he goes down low, rip him over the top. Try it out. That's day 10.